live time. Tammy's getting things cleaned up back there. Give me a couple of seconds, get things set up here. Here we go. All right. What have we got going on? Fashion Forward's with us. And Sarah from Pittsburgh's with us. Nacho's here early. And Sonny Jones from DFW. Casey Turnage from Mississippi. Stacy Willis, Cougar Mountain Frenches is with us. She just sent me a message asking about a breeding, about numbers. I'll just go over that real quick. She said, my dog, I don't remember the exact details, and I can't look at it because it's on that phone right there, but it was something like my dog was at a 25 on a fine care machine. I did a breeding. The next day or today, it's at a 35. I did another breeding. Should I go ahead and do a TCI tomorrow? And my answer to her was, no, you're in a really good place. Those are good numbers. You know, I like to do, I'll do TCIs on like a 35 on a fine care. You know, if I was going to do a single breeding on a fine care, it'd be like a 24. And that's when she did her first breeding. What would it be the next day? It'd be about a high 30s, middle to high 30s. And that's where she is today. And that would be territory for a TCI. Tomorrow, it's going to be even higher. And I would not spend the money on a TCI tomorrow because she's got it covered with the 2 breedings. So there you go, Stacey. I think you're good to go. Rainy French Bulldogs is with us. Sarah Schilling. Shills Frenchie says hello. Hello to you. And all right, let's see. What have we got here? We've got a few of you on board, and some of you have given us a thumbs up. We'd like more thumbs up. And I'm going to get these guys here behind us raised up because we're going to talk about weaning. So, grab my coffee too. We've been working at the other house, I had enough coffee today. All right, so let me drop that. Okay. Let's get Mama up in here. Be the right one. And I'm doing it the wrong way. It's already fully up. Right, good. I'm going to move out the way a little bit here. Scoot my chair around. Like that. Move this around. And there's some babies. So first thing, so we're talking about, I want to do a little bit about talking about weaning. Why? Because that's where we are with this litter right now. So they were 4 weeks old yesterday. And it's time for their second worming, which is with Nemex 2. Actually, I like to get parental palmate. I buy it on Amazon. It's so much less expensive. It's exactly the same thing. Nemex 2, a 1 pint bottle of Nemex 2 is about $100. A 1 quart bottle, twice as much, of parental palmate on Amazon is like $30. So, you know, it's a sixth of the price, and it's exactly the same thing. So why spend the money? Tammy likes to buy things. You know, she gets worried about generic versions of things, but it's fine. It's just the chemical. It's the same thing. So there you go. All right. Stacy said Cougar Mountain. So she mentioned about the breeding on a 25 and a 35. Thank you so much. I watched about 10 of your videos today and came to the same conclusion, but I always second guess myself. Well, you were right. Hey, it never hurts to ask, right? Daniel Brown's with us from New Zealand. Good deal. Well, I'm not sure we've had Daniel Brown here before, but we've got some of our international friends with us. That's great. So Amy Scoville's with us. Had my first decent-sized litter of 5 this week, thanks to your videos and knowledge. Appreciate your dedication. Well, wonderful. I like litters of 5. This is a litter of 6, and you know, I don't like litters of 1s and 2s because it gets expensive. I was talking to somebody the other day, and their C-section cost to have a regular C-section was going to be $2,500 or $3,000, but it was going to go over a Sunday, and then the price went up. You had to go to an emergency hospital. $6,500. $6,500. Good Lord. I mean, we get C-sections done here between $800 and $1,000, depending on, if it's after hours, another $100. If it's a big litter, it might be another $100 because of meds. So that would be the $1,000 range. So for those of you who've got those $6,500 C-sections, you really need to get on the phone and look and see what you can find that might be a couple of 100 miles away. I mean, we travel about 45 minutes to an hour away for our C-sections. Not a big deal. Why do we do that? Because we know this vet very, very well, and they'll always be around for us. Even if it's, if it's going to be on a Sunday evening, they'll be around for us. But with an incubator, a traveling incubator, crap, I mean, you can travel, a day if you needed to. It's not like there's no reason why you couldn't do an 8-hour journey with puppies at all. It'd be fine. Mum would just sleep. You could stop somewhere and let mum out to go pee and poop, and then lay a blanket out in the back of the car and let those puppies nurse for a little bit, and pile mum back into a crate and put the puppies back in the incubator and get back on the road. Save yourself $5,000. I mean, I'd do that for $5,000. Anyway, so congratulations though on a litter of 5. Good deal. Sarah Schilling, had my first litter 1 week after your current litter. Love how relevant your videos are since we're just a step behind you. That's great. Yes. So I mean, that's one of the things is that we haven't had a litter for a while. So when I have a litter, then I want to start talking about the things that we do, because I've got the puppies here. One of the things that we've been talking about a little bit is the flat chest kits. That's something that we've been developing, and we did actually have 2 puppies in here that were bigger puppies that had a little bit of a flat chest, and within a couple of days, it completely sorted it out. I don't have any flat chest at all. I don't know if I've got a flat chest kit up here or not. Yeah, I do. Here's one right here. So the idea behind this, and you've probably seen it last time, I'll probably put on a puppy here in a little bit, but you've got this metal aluminum plate here, and the dog's front legs go through this, and then it clips over their back like this. There's holes so you can adjust the settings. And basically what it does is it makes for a rounded, their flat chest is not pushing against the ground. This is pushing against the ground. And because of that, it leaves a space there so that rib cage can start moving out away from being flat. What's the problem with a flat chest? Those puppies can have problems breathing because their lung capacity, think of it this way. Now, if your chest looks like this, and if you then make the chest look like this, you can see it severely reduced the volume. And so when they breathe, they don't get much change in volume, and that flat chest can really impinge on lung air movement, and also even on the heart. And those puppies, I mean, I've seen vets who suggest that you euthanize puppies with flat chests. You don't need to. This will fix it. I'll put one of these on a puppy here in a little bit. Okay. Mark Burkhart's with us. Good to have you here. Fashion Forward Mum, have you ever used ivermectin on your puppies? It's a horse med, absolutely, you bet. So ivermectin is a, it's kind of a fly medication for cattle. It's an injectable. You can also use it. You don't have to inject it. You can put it into a syringe and have them swallow it. If you've got a dog, for instance, that's got red mange, then treatment for that would be to see if you can, first treatment for red mange, by the way, see if it'll go away by itself. But if it doesn't, ivermectin. And ivermectin is a great heartwarmer. We ivermectin our adult dogs every 3 months with ivermectin. And I don't remember what the dosage is. It's not very much. You keep it in the fridge. What I do with the ivermectin, you only need a very small amount of it. So what I do is I take the dosage for all the dogs. I've got 5 girls, 5 dosages, put it into one syringe, and then mix it with some Coca-Cola. And put it with about, if I've got 5 dogs, I might put it with a cc of Coca-Cola, end up with a volume of something in the order of, 14, 15 cc's, and I'm going to give each dog 0.3 of a cc, and I just squirt it in their mouth. Doesn't taste very good, but that's the reason for the Coke. Got to make sure you stir it up really well. It is an off-label use. I would not use it for a pregnant mum. So I would not give it as a heart medication, but it's a great heartworm dewormer. Heartworm. So yeah, ivermectin, absolutely. And typically, you used to, I don't know, I haven't bought it in a while. You used to be able to buy it at your like Tractor Supply type place, your farm and garden type place where they sell medications for horses and cattle and stuff like that for farmers. You used to be able to buy ivermectin there. I don't know if you still can. Everything's changing in terms of what they let us buy. Dana Hall, did you ship my flat chest kits? Yes, I did. They got shipped Saturday, so you'll see those in a few days. Nacho Line praised the sync heat cycles. Just had 3 dogs bled, one after the other. No need for PG 600 or supplements. Yeah. So what he's talking about here, he says syncing, is that when you have a number of dogs in a house together, one dog goes into heat, and next thing you know, another dog goes into heat. It's a great way of getting a dog. If you've got a dog that has not been getting into heat for a while, and you're worried about it, or you want it to go into heat, stick it in an area where it's close to another dog in heat. Let it run around with another dog in heat. It can make a big difference. And especially if you've got dogs that just don't want to come into heat. PG 600 is something that I don't like to use. I've actually never used it. I've used it for customers, never used it myself. It is an injectable that's designed for pigs that bring swine in. People use it for wrenches. Natureline says, Fashion Forward Mum says, I have 4 pregnant, all just days apart. Well, what do you need to make it easy? This here. I mean, this litter here has been one of the easiest litters that we've ever had. And, almost all of our litters end up where mum just does all the work. First time mum, the heated whelping kit. Right now, I've got the pig rail taken out of here. So we don't need a pig rail anymore because these puppies are now 4 weeks old. Remove the pig rail, give them more room. And you can see the thermostat here is turned off. We don't need the supplemental heat either. But for those first, 2 weeks for sure, probably 3 weeks, source of heat, pig rail, and then you can't see it, but there's a camera up there. So there's a wireless camera, and we can see that camera from anywhere in the world, which means that, today, for instance, I was gone from 9 in the morning until 8 o'clock, almost just 10 minutes before the show started. I was gone. I looked at the camera once or twice just to make sure she's okay. One thing you got to be careful for in that situation is that she doesn't take a dump in the crate, right? I've had a couple of times that's happened where we've been a bit slow on things, and then she's need to use the bathroom. Then she'll go over in the corner and keep it away from her puppies, and it'll just be sitting there. But it's still going to be cleaned up. It's not very nice, but it's not the end of the world, right? Dash Forward says I have the ivermectin paste. Fine. Just the dosage is going to be, you've got to go figure out what the right dosage is. The next line says, yes, ivermectin liquid is very strong, overdose is very common. So be careful. I've never had a problem with it, but I'm also very careful. So you've got to know how to dose it. It's not, the best thing you can do is Google it. Fashion Forward Mum, is Toltra Pro for coccidia okay to give to puppies to prevent it? Yes, absolutely. You bet. It's a good way of helping prevent coccidia. Yes. Is it one and done or a 3-day dose? We just give it once. But if you've got coccidia, then I'd probably give it for 3 days. Natural Line says heated whelping system. Set it and forget it. That's exactly right. It is. It makes a big difference. What are you doing back there, Mum? She's chewing on a foot. So this is one of those things that you see where dogs that have no problems at all of a sudden, when they've got puppies, they start to have itching situation going. She's not got a big problem with it, but I just seen her itching. She's panting, and again, she just does this. This is an air conditioned room. It's 73 degrees in here, but she's just nibbling away on her feet. And I think this is all part of hormone changes when they're whelping. Fashion Forward Mum says, I adore them and die without the heated whelping system. Yeah, Rhonda Lee's with us. Hello, Rhonda. Good to see you. Yeah, so I mean, the other thing I'd say about this is that I really do like, this is a convenience thing, this lift. It's not a necessity, it's a convenience thing. But it sure as heck makes things a lot easier. I mean, for instance, now I'm here right now, and I don't have to be on my hands and knees. This cage is a bit stiff. Here we go. Back like this. It's just so convenient that you can do everything at your level, and it's not rock solid, but it's pretty. I mean, I'm shaking it. You can see it's got a little tiny bit of wiggle to it, but it does not upset Mum at all. She does not freak up going up and down this thing. And all the way on the floor, I've got actually a cushion here. You can't see it. It's about that high. It's a kind of a big dog bed. And I put that down so that she's got a little platform. So because she's got a little ledge on it, she's got to jump out of this ledge. So if I had this without the cushion, she'd have to jump out of that ledge. And then this thing is about maybe that far off the ground. So she'd be jumping that high. And that could take her chest and not be very comfortable. So we put a cushion down there. Fashion Forward Mum, how much space is between the pig rail and the cage? I think I cut my pipes too long. I will go get a pig rail and we'll talk about that right now, and I will go find Tami. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, found a pig rail. Nothing, I just get a pig rail. Good. People are asking where you are. You ready? Good. Turn your mic on. Okay. Tami's about to show up. Okay. Pig rail. So this monstrosity right here sits in the bottom of your crate like that. And you can see these metal pieces right here. They hold this thing off the floor and they keep this away from the sides. So what Fashion Forward Mum is asking is, what length do you cut these pieces of PVC pipe? If I get this apart or not, probably not, but it doesn't matter. The answer is you measure the flat portion of your tray, you subtract 5 inches on the width and the length, and that's what you cut your pipe to. And you put all this together and this all fits in there, really good to go. And so we'll leave this in here until we took this out when, 4 or 5 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 3.5 weeks. And they had this. And
well, there's how many puppies? 6 puppies, and they're all
yes.
staying.
You want to slide that against the wall for me? Green lights on.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you. Tami's here.
I was here earlier. They dismissed me.
You were. Okay. So the nice thing about the pig rail is it's so quick to put together. It's easy to put inside. When you finish with it, you can take the ends off.
I have it upside down.
No, it's fine. You do, but it doesn't play.
Okay.
Swizzle the whole thing.
I will.
There you go. There you go. No good now. Yeah, so the nice thing about the pig rail, it's cheap. I mean, we sell, I think, Cody's got 4 pig rail adapters for like $17, which is if you've got to go buy 1.5-inch elbows and the bolts and the thread and everything else, you'd be spending that much or more. So we do all the work for you. Yes.
The lift. It's fantastic.
You need a lift.
Yes. Saves my knees, my back.
We're old bastards. We need a lift.
Chanel loved
That's what I was going to say.
When Chanel, she's 30, 32, 30, yeah, 32.
Yeah, right.
And when she was 29 and 30, she loved this thing.
Yes. Naturally, where's
30.
your partner in crime? Here she is.
I'm the great partner in crime.
Fashion forward mom, those potatoes moving around are so cute. We'll show it to you here in a little bit.
There you go.
Dana Hall, I bought 2 lifts and they're awesome. Wish I
Yes,
had them
they
years
are.
ago. Money well spent. Well, thank you, Dana.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
Dana's got a
stuff.
lot of our stuff. She's a great customer. Yeah, so fashion forward mom, yeah, my pig grow is in there super tight, so I need to cut it. Yeah, you do. Just shave off half an inch or something like that and it'll fit.
Yeah. Did
Right.
you already show this? You're through with it?
No, I'm not through that. I'm
Oh, okay.
Talk about that here in a little bit.
Okay. I miss good mama.
All right, we're going to talk about weaning.
We were moving trees today, so my allergies are up.
I know a little bit too. Let's get you in the picture here a little bit.
Okay. There.
Okay. All right, let's move this forward too.
Well, can you see mama? You'll see mama and the babies. Those babies are so cute.
They are. They're
All the girls are sold. I've got 4 boys left. 2 of the boys carry pink. Both of the boys are new shade Isabellas that carry pink. One is a Harlequin Tweed Merle boy, and the other little boy is and they're full fluffies. And the other little boy is a new shade Isabella Coy, carries pink. His name is the Tax Man. Because he's got an explosive DNA.
He's going to cause you a tax problem when you study him out. Fashion forward mom says, Tammy doll, you're too pretty to be moving trees.
Well, James did most of the work.
No, not really. Well, we haven't put them in the ground yet.
No, that's tomorrow.
So, Natural Line, is there any there that resemble a dad's structure? Meaning, did you get what you wanted in his body and his coat?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about weaning for a moment. Then we'll talk about this.
Short ears.
Let's talk about weaning.
Weaning. Okay.
Yes.
Talk about. I did get everything. That's your answer. I got everything and more.
And we'll show you why here in a moment.
Yeah.
So
answer the weaning. Yeah.
When do you decide to wean dogs?
Well, if mama's acting good and everything, I probably wean them at for sure fully at 6 weeks. I mean, they're done by 6 weeks on weaning.
When do you start weaning?
But I start weaning like right now. They're 4 weeks, and I will start them on puppy food. The girl moisten the puppy food, get it real wet, and smash it up real fine, kind of like a gravy. And they've got teeth, but I want to make sure that they really like it and they can lap it up. And then I'll gradually do it where it's just soft kibble. But 4.5 weeks, probably Thursday I'll do this. They'll be almost 5 weeks when I put them on mush. This way, honey, what are you doing to him?
Mush had teeth.
Quit, mama, don't come out.
All right, so it's hard to see this here, but there are some teeth. There's some teeth right there. Little teeth. You can feel them. So first thing is,
isn't he gorgeous?
He's
very beautiful.
He is.
I mean, if you ask me what my confirmation is on this, if I got what I wanted, you bet. Look at that inverted little nose, those little ears.
It's gonna pop up like that.
And look at that nice wide muzzle. Beautiful heads.
Yes. So we can talk more about that in a moment. So
beautiful.
So number one is you
I'm crazy
really,
about
I don't
morals.
think there's much point weaning until you got some teeth.
Right.
Because they're not going to do much with the kibble.
3 weeks, they're just beginning to get little bumps and starting to come through.
And what you'll see is they're chewing on stuff.
On each other.
On each other.
I don't have toys in here yet. I will start putting toys in there.
So what would be the reason to wean early? Well, one would be that they are attacking mum and she's not liking it because they've got teeth and they're biting her.
Yes.
So one thing that you can do to kind of delay this is to make sure their nails are clipped on a regular basis. How are the nails on those guys? So we haven't clipped them in a while.
I need to clip them.
So just have a look at the nails.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one thing you'll see, mum's got a rash and got stripes, red stripes where she's been scratched by the puppies.
Yeah, they got,
so
their toenails need to be done.
show that up there so we can see that.
See the little hooks?
They're not too bad.
Oh.
but they
look at that rope.
So why would you? So the reason that you might wean sooner is
so
because
sleepy.
Mum's having a rough time. Mum's really getting hammered. She's being pulled down. This one's dead. It's cheap.
He's so sleepy.
That is a calm little puppy. They'll do that. Most puppies just go.
Well, he's sleepy. This is our new shade carrying pink.
He's pretty, isn't he?
And he's got that fluff.
Now, what is his name?
This is the tax man.
Oh, that's taxman, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And all the beetles. Things.
Yes.
Anyway, so look.
Blue eyes.
So
Oh,
why would you wean earlier? Because mum is having a hard time. Maybe mum's milk is not very good, and the puppies are looking scrawny and you're having to tube feed.
I don't think they look scrawny.
No, they don't. No. Or bottle feed. Or you have a really large litter, and mum cannot produce enough milk to feed them all. So those would all be reasons to wean sooner, at 3.5 weeks maybe. Now, why would you wean later? Well, one of the things that's going to happen here, and this is going to happen tomorrow, is we're going to put these guys into a pen area with this crate. One of the reasons to delay this is they're going to start pooping everywhere. They are going to be little poop machines.
Yes, and that's where that poop tray, it's great.
Makes
have that poop tray because they'll run and go on it and potty on it instead of just everywhere and stepping in it and licking it up and getting sick.
So here she is. She's still cleaning them up.
I mean,
you'll see little brown stains on the pee pads because mum has cleaned it up. When we let mum out in the morning, you know, these puppies will wake up and they'll start pooping. She'll come in and she'll start eating it all up. I mean, it's disgusting, but it is what dogs do. But the moment you put them on kibble, she's not going to do that. But it's going to be for you to start cleaning changing towels and pee pads, and that's where the poop tray comes in. But that would be that's a reason for delaying it. And the other one is that if mum's socializing with the babies, that's a great thing. But I think that there gets to be a point where they need to have enough room to be running around. So they need to be developing their legs properly. And on this situation here, they're not running around very much. They are ready to start running around. So I think that I would say that the time to wean would be as early as 3.5 weeks if you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, if you're in trouble.
And as late as 5.5 weeks if you want to push it.
Meaning you're in trouble, meaning mama's milk's gone bad, mama's not being good to them.
Yeah.
Things like that. Not just because
you're putting food in there and mum's all of a sudden snapping at the dogs when they come to the food.
No, she's been eating with her babies from the get-go.
She could be with her babies until they leave, probably, but we're not.
Now, when they start eating mush, and it seems more enticing, then I'll watch her again about it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but we're going to document all this with this. So we're going to document. So what do we have for a whelping weaning system? We have those. They're about 2 foot by 2 foot.
34 inches high.
Yeah.
36 inches high.
They got little spikes, and you can make your own
fence.
Make a little fence
cute
up.
Gate.
Yep.
And I set that up, and since the floor is slick, I'll put little bricks around it, keep it from slipping, and I'll put pee pads in there.
Otherwise, they'll move the thing around.
In there. I put them a short water bowl that's probably about that deep, and so they can able to get water and get the.
But they're not going to drown in it.
Hydrate, and then their food in there, and and then I'll set their food in there in the morning, and then take it away. And then I'll put it back in there at around noon, and I'll take it away, and then I'll put it back towards the evening and take it away. But they'll gradually get to break from mama. They'll get her probably twice a day, and then I'll break it down to once a day, and then
early at night for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then nothing at all.
And then one time a day, and then nothing at all.
So what you got to watch out for here is small puppies. Small puppies may have a hard time transitioning, and they may not go to the mush very well, and they may not be getting enough calories, so they can start losing weight. So we're not weighing these puppies anymore because I mean,
they're fantastic.
Pick another one up.
Yeah, pick another one up.
Yeah, pick the one up in the back there.
Oh, that's the big boy.
Look at that boy.
That's the walrus.
There's the walrus. There's the walrus. I mean, you know,
he's beautifully marked koi. He is a lilac and tan koi. He's just, what are you doing looking at? Look at his head. Beautiful head. I mean, his nares are nice and open. See that square top on his head, his inverted nose?
Here's his ears coming up. He's
a lilac and tan koi, and he carries testable chocolate and cocoa. Look at his tan markings here. And then look at his little leg markings there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about his ears? Do we need to take the ears up a little bit?
I think he'll probably pop up within about a week and a half, but he's going to have those real pretty blue eyes. See there? How beautiful.
So let's talk about ears for a second here. So typically what you see on this is that the bigger dogs...
Look at that fluff. He's got he's so pretty. He is beautiful. Isn't he beautiful?
Yes.
580-799-1910.
The boys are available. So let's talk about ears for a second. At what point are you going to start taking ears up? Because nobody's got their ears up,
if
do they?
they're 6 weeks old and ears aren't up, then I'll
Well,
start taping them
I would
up.
say 5 weeks. Yeah.
Well, James always does it early.
Well, what you typically see is you've got 1 or 2 puppies that may need their ears. I mean, right now nobody's got their ears up, and they had their ears up when they were tiny puppies because as their ears grow, they start flopping down. But I do see occasionally, and I say occasionally, I mean, I'll see people send me pictures about, what do I do? My dog's got one ear that's down like this, right? And the dog's, 6 months old. You're too late. It's not fixing that. I mean, maybe you could have surgery for it. I don't know, but I wouldn't go through it. The mistake that was made was their ears were not taped up for just a few days. Typically, it may just take 1 to 4 days to get ears to pop up and stay up. People say, how long do you tape ears up for? The answer is...
anytime you see it fall, tape it back up.
Yeah, right.
It'll eventually stick. But when you've got... The earlier you do taping, though, the less the puppies pay attention to it. They start really paying attention at 7 weeks. They start pulling each other's ears. And
what Terry's saying is you'll have a hard time making it stay on.
Right.
So people say, how long do you leave the tape on for? Well, the answer is mum and the babies are going to take the tape off within 24 hours. So then you'll see whether the ears are flopping down. And it's very common to see the ears flop down when they've had their first 6-week shots. That's the time that you'll see ears flop. Pick a puppy, and we're going to talk about taping ears for a second.
Pick a puppy?
Another puppy, a different one.
A different one?
Yeah, a different one. You got 6 dead choose from.
Oh, goodness sakes. Woke her up from her nap. She didn't like that.
Now, this is going to Jason Heel.
No, it's not. Not this one.
Oh, okay.
This goes to somebody else.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I got it
carrier.
wrong. Sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Teresa is her name.
Yes, right. Absolutely right. Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk for a second about these puppies' ears. You see, we don't want these ears. It's okay right now. It's not a problem at the moment. But I want to see these ears coming up in the next week. I want to see the ears standing like this. So what do? You just simply turn this around for me, Tami. You take this ear and you fold it like this.
Like a taco.
Like a taco. You see how it wants to stand up when I do that? And you just put some tape around the ear, and that'll make it stay like that. That's all you do. Just
first aid tape.
First aid tape.
Don't get the cheap kind. Spend your money on the first aid tape.
I see people say, "Oh, don't do that. It'll pull the hair off it."
No.
It won't. I mean, you might.
The only hair you get on that is the fuzz that's fixing to come off anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Look
hey,
at her pretty face.
What's your choice here? Have dogs that have ears that are flop. Frenchies aren't supposed to have floppy ears. They're supposed to have ears that look. Yes.
See there, that's rope on her nose. It looks like her long nose, but it's that little bump from her rope. She is.
So she's the only one who didn't get the bottle gene.
Yeah.
But she did get. She's got both versions of
testable chocolate and cocoa.
Cocoa. Mm-hmm. And I think she didn't get pied, and she's ATA.
This is the little girl Jason got. Her name is Chloe now. That's little Miss Chloe. Isn't she beautiful?
Yes.
She's a blue and tan koi carrying testable and cocoa.
Yes. She's very pretty.
Beautiful.
She's very pretty.
She's just gorgeous.
Yes.
Little short tail.
I love these markings and these kois. It's very cool.
And she's got waves on her ears. I don't know if you can see that, but her fur is going to be beautiful. She's a beautiful girl.
So all of our girls, by the way,
so pretty.
If you buy a girl from us, Chloe. And don't, by the way, it's none of this stuff. There's another litter coming up. But if you buy a girl from us, you get half price breedings for the life of that girl.
Well, my girls are sold, but I
know, but for the next litter, that's what these people
Sophia's pregnant.
Yes.
She's going to have, I don't know how many. This is the other little boy.
Yes, he's a new shade, isn't he?
Yes, he's a new shade koi.
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Taxman Walrus, Sergeant Pepper, Jude.
Jude.
Hey, Jude.
He's so
don't
sweet.
make it bad. Take a sad song.
He's so pretty. Look at that inverted nose.
Yes.
I got short little legs. I got pretty little cat.
That's the one with the 6-foot tail, isn't it?
No. No. He's a new shade.
Little bitty
koi.
tail. Little bitty tail.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so somebody's asking us, someone asked about, did we get what we wanted out of this?
Oh, you bet.
NBA did NBA is a nice, small, compact dog. And look at Mama's looking there. She's just checking to see what's going on.
Worried I'm going to hurt her babies.
No, she's very good. Yes.
Look at that. Oh, well, quit.
Okay. So let's see what sorry, let's get back to this. We spent enough time on the weaning.
Yeah. Beautiful blue eyes, Mama. In that baby. He needs to TT. Yes. Okay.
So Fashua says that my dear is a few fat baked potato. They're all fat baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Natural lines, yeah, all get ahead of the game when they start to poop. Get that little poop tray. Yeah, it certainly makes a big difference. It's amazing how well that works. How do you clean your towels? My white towels go so stained with whelping. I bleached them, but they are still stained. So
oh, well, you can use Dawn dish soap, the the real dark blue one, and you can pour that on it or squirt that on there.
Spot treat it.
Right. And then, of course, OxyClean that. But I put baking powder in there with the towels, and I put vinegar.
So you buy your towels at Walmart when they're cheap, don't you?
Oh yeah, I buy those cheap white towels at Walmart.
Right.
If they get too gross, then use them for bath towels only, and go get you some new ones. But
use it for you mean my towels that I'm using?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Those were polka dot towels, but they're not. They're shit stains, right?
No, but anyway, yeah, that, and of course you add bleach to it too, but it'll get them pretty clean.
Yes. That just like that truly is a walrus for the big one.
He's a fat boy. He's a sweet boy. He's so marked up beautifully. Yeah, but remember, 2 of those babies are carrying pink, and they're the new shade Isabellas.
Hoodlum Frenchie says, just want to say thanks to Brady, Brady takes care of everything to do with My Breeder Supply. He is the frontline guy. If you have a problem, he's going to fix it. If you're having a problem placing an order, he's going to help you through it. He basically builds a lot of the stuff that we sell. And someone said here, Hoodlum Frenchie says, just want to say thanks to Brady at My Breeder Supply. He helped me with the order on Saturday when you were closed, talk about customer service. Thank you very much. I mean, I think that, I say this, this has been our philosophy, and it still is like your staff, your employees make a business, right? Your employees make a business. You need to have good employees, and it means that, you need to have a good relationship. And I mean, we're all family, so we do. And the other thing is that your customers, without customers, you don't have a company. You don't have a business without employees. Don't have a company without customers. Don't have a business. So, to us, you are very important to us because we want to provide. I mean, it sounds like bullshit, right? But I mean, the answer is we really do care about this. And so, occasionally people need help. It's after hours. I'm there to answer phone calls. I mean, not past midnight, but I mean, Monday.
We're Central Time.
7 days a week. Yeah, 7 days a week. There's somebody who can talk to you, right? Yeah. And you know how it is when you have a problem and you talk to somebody they know less about the product than you do.
Brady knows his stuff.
It's not the situation here. We know our products. There's like 4 of us who do this. We know our products back to front because we invented it. Everything inside out. Yeah, right. Enough of that. Right. Happy Girl says, does cottage cheese give your females diarrhea?
Yes, it can. You need to slack off of it. I give mine right after they had babies for about 4 days, and then I take it away because I start noticing the puppy's poo being different. And it'll also, mama's poo will be different too.
So why do you even give cottage cheese?
Well, for the calcium. But I'll do probiotics too whenever my females have loose stool. So probiotics is real good because they're cleaning up poop anyway. So there's a bacterial thing going on in their gut. So that probiotics is good to give even to puppies when they're 6 and 8 weeks old. Of course you give them half the amount or less, and you could give that every day and it's fine.
So you say you give calcium for milk. What happens if you don't give calcium? How much do you give? When do you give it? Why do you give it? I'm asking lots of questions altogether here. I'm going to answer it.
Go ahead, answer it.
Well, so the problem is that dogs, whelping mums, obviously, look here. All of these puppies, and there's 6 of these little buggers here, and they all weigh over a pound. They have come from milk. Mum has had to produce milk to make those puppies. And so what does mum need? Mum needs a high protein diet. That's why we put her onto puppy food.
Yep, she's on puppy food.
And the danger is if she doesn't have enough calcium, that she can start to take calcium out of her bones, and she can even get what's called
somebody getting sick.
Yeah, a thing called eclampsia, which happens more in smaller dogs like Chihuahuas, but it's a real threat for them, where they can go into a coma. They start acting really
you can
weird.
Lose your female over that too.
Right. So the problem with this is, you'd think, oh, I'm going to give calcium before they whelp. No, don't do that. That can actually apparently mess up the calcium cycle. Start the cottage cheese or start using things like NutriCal as soon as the puppies are born. And the one thing about cottage cheese is it makes the food nicer for them. They enjoy it more, so they eat better. One of the problems that you can have is this first 24, 48 hours, they're just not eating very well. And so there's a couple of things that Tammy's learned over the years. One is that the cottage cheese helps with that. And then also she'll hand feed them too. It's amazing how well that works. A dog that just won't eat any food, if it's presented that food in Tammy's hand or my hand, that all of a sudden they think it's a treat coming.
Well, they just want that love.
Yeah, well, I think that's some of it too. I think that's definitely it.
They're feeling.
They want the attention. Yeah, they're feeling.
Had their babies and
overwhelmed a bit.
And yeah,
they're overwhelmed a little bit.
Kind of calms them out a little bit.
So it makes a big difference. So if you're having a problem with a dog not eating, then I would say, and if you're not getting much milk production, by the way, there's things like fenugreek seed you can buy at Walmart that can help with milk production. Don't overdo it. Calcium in the form of cottage cheese or NutriCal,
just regular cheese,
or even regular cheese. Yeah, but be prepared for the fact that you can start getting some runny mess, and so you may want to back off this. So we fed her cottage cheese, 3 days maybe?
4 days.
4 days, right? Let me stop doing it. Right, and she never had a problem with it. She didn't have runny mess at all.
No, she didn't, but the babies were starting to.
Oh, okay, right, yes. So I get lots of things where people will send me pictures of puppy poop and they get worried about, it's got green poop and yellow poop. And don't worry about it. But what I don't want to see is explosive diarrhea in any dogs. If you start to see projectile diarrhea in mum or the babies, then I know that we need to step in. And one of the things that we do immediately with puppies is give them some a canned pumpkin, and make sure you're doing your wormings. And do your worming a little early if you've got a problem. Make sure that you whelp. Give mum 3 days of fenbendazole or Safeguard. That's starting 7 days after whelp. Get mum dewormed. And people will say, "Oh, mum, she doesn't have any worms." Yeah, she does. She's got worms that she's kept under control. Very small amounts of worms she's kept under control. Passed on through the milk. End up with puppies getting worms. So it helps knock that back. Happy Girl says yes. She talked about this diarrhea. Says she's got a very sensitive stomach. Sure, yes. Rhonda Lee says Brady is the best. He is. He'll appreciate those comments. Thank you. Fashion Forward Mum, when you say carrying pink, does that mean that like on their face you can see pink? My female is pink colored, but she's a chocolate brindle. Well, if you've got to get 2 copies of pink, and there's different forms of this to get a pink Frenchie, and those are very washed out looking dogs. With a single copy of pink, it just kind of lightens things up. And it's interesting because 3 of these dogs are, they're coys, and they looked very pink in the eye, but only one of those was a pink carrier. The other pink carrier is the new shade Merle Boy. So we're just learning about this. Frenchy Fam says, "Hey guys, love your videos. Thank you, appreciate you. What probiotics do you give mum and or her puppies?" We need to get Tammy back in here to answer that for us. Nacho Line says the liquid juice on top of the cottage cheese is what you really need. Okay, pumpkin can help with deworming as well. Okay. Just found you this weekend. This is Sherry Mercurio. I've been watching and learning. Have a Yorkie litter expected in a few days. Great, good for you. What can you give them if they can't take the cottage cheese? Is there a calcium supplement I can use instead? Yes, there is, NutriCal. So NutriCal is a paste. A lot of people who have things like Chihuahuas, some of these very small breeds, they'll have a tube of NutriCal around. And if they see a dog that's crashing or wigging out, they'll give them a squirt, a kind of a toothpaste long sausage of a NutriCal and put it directly in their mouth. And I think all dogs will enjoy Nutrical. I don't think you'll have any dogs that will not eat the Nutrical. It's very sweet, caramel flavored stuff. So Nutrical, there are other things out there. One of the things that you can do if you have a dog that's actually wigging out and got real problems, then what you do is you go to the vet. They'll do a calcium score, pull some blood, do a calcium score, and then they'll give an IV, and they'll give out a calcium IV wise, and it's absorbed a lot better that way. But you've got to be careful on this. You can overdo the calcium and mess up their calcium uptake. And exactly what the mechanism is, I don't know. But all I can say is, if you've got a dog that's wigging out, the first thing I would do would be, for instance, you can give what are the indigestion pills? Tabs. I can't think of the name of this. I can't think of the name of them now. Someone will say it. Little tablets that you take if you've got acid reflux, tummy ache. Rolaids. There you go. Got it finally. Rolaids. They're just calcium. You can give them Rolade. See if that helps. But I have never seen a dog have eclampsia. I haven't experienced it. But if you see it where a dog is wigging out, staggering around, acting really weird, the first thing I would do, probably go give it a Rolade and see whether or not you can make that dog kind of behave better right away. And if you do, then it probably is a calcium deficiency. Can you overworm a puppy? Well, I think you can overdo anything, right? So, for us, what we do is we worm it every 2 weeks, starting at 2 weeks old. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, we're worming puppies. And we worm for 2 and 4 weeks with the Nemex2 or the parental pair mate. And then after that, we worm with a fendobendazole or Safeguard, a Panicure. They're all the same things. And we do that for 3 days in a row. And then if I have a dog, if a puppy that they start to get, I haven't, it's another, I've wormed them and it's been like 9 days. The next worm's coming up in another 5 days and I'm starting to see some runny mess. I'll worm them again. I'll give another round. So is it overdoing it? No. The thing about Safeguard is it's very safe. That's, I guess, why it's called Safeguard. It's safe stuff. And it's got knockdown for all kinds of things. It's not the preferred treatment for coccidia, and it's not the preferred treatment for Giardia, which are two common things that will cause runny blood flake diarrhea in puppies. They're very common, and if you do enough of this, you will probably come across those two problems. And you need to treat it because the problem is it typically doesn't kill puppies, but what it does is it makes them skinny and weak, and then they can be susceptible to other problems. So the right treatment is to diagnose those and then treat them appropriately. But if you start to see some runny poop, I'd give them, and you haven't wormed them for 8, 9 days, I'd give another round of worming. Frenchy fam. My girl is 58 days today and her temperature this morning was 99.0. Is this normal? Right. So typically, one of the most reliable things for predicting when whelp is going to happen is temperature. It is the single best thing, but it's not 100% reliable. So typically when you get to 99.0 or lower, puppies within 24 hours. So you'd expect her to have puppies tomorrow. Right. So the problem is that if you don't put the thermometer in far enough, you'll get a low reading and that'll fool you. So the first question that I always ask when somebody says the temperature is 99.0, I'll ask, what was the temperature yesterday? Because I want to see a temperature that was 99.3 or more so that I can believe that you're getting the thermometer in properly. If you take the temperature of a dog that's maybe a week away from whelp, typically it'll be in 100.1 to 100.5. That's kind of a normal kind of a temperature. It could be as high as 101.5, but normal temperature is at 100.5. So the question gets to be is why you at day 58? That is potentially 3 days early, and that's a bit worrisome, right? We don't want to take puppies more than 2 days early. So one of the reasons for this is that you've got a small litter, and the reason you've got a small litter is you did your mating either early or late. If you do the mating late, then the puppies will come early and you could have a small litter over it. So you could be at day 58, but really you're at day 60 not 58. So you got to be careful about this. So there's little things to look for: be a dog whose temperature has dropped, not eating any food at all, nesting and panting, progesterone level less than 3.5, safe to take puppies. So, all right.
So toys.
Yeah.
These are great for chewing. This is that Hearts chews for puppies to chew. Of course, Mama will too. Little toys that don't have buttons for eyes. They're sewed in. Is great. Then, of course, this has got a little chewy piece to it. I bet this thing's been around forever. And then, of course, these are the other little Nylabones.
What you don't like is rawhide,
Puppy starter pack, but I don't give them the one that they can actually eat. This is the puppy starter pack. But that's what I give them.
What's that?
That is a chewy toy. It's real soft.
Oh yeah.
It's
it's supposed to be an ice
rubbery
cream. It's supposed to be a
cream.
piece of ice cream. What you don't give them is you don't give them rawhide bones, do you?
No.
Why don't you give them rawhide bones?
They tear off pieces of that and it gets stuck in their gut.
Can happen.
You may have to go have surgery to have that removed.
Yep.
We had a little man, and it was those little skinny rawhide bones. And we were watching him chew it. And he had been chewing on it and chewing on it. All of a sudden, it's a stick about that long. He swallowed it down to the back of his throat, and I like to have a cow. And then he just made it come back up. So it's like,
yeah. So we stopped doing. We stopped using this.
Did away with that, but they'll chew that and swallow
We've had a dog
pieces of it and have to have it removed.
Chew toys impacted the dog.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing about chew toys.
That was those stringy ropes, the real cheap ones.
Right. If you leave toys in with mum, see, mum's got that toy that she's really enjoying.
She took it out because she likes to chew it.
But if you've got these chew toys that kind of get they've been chewed to death, throw them away and give them a new one, right? Don't get in a situation where they can actually get pieces off and swallow it, because that can block a dog up. And then you may be faced with surgery if that happens, right? So be careful. And the signs of that would be a dog that all of a sudden is not eating food, got a bloated stomach, and is just not a happy dog at all. And that's a dog that could be impacted. And by the way, one of the things that I would do immediately on a dog like that is I'd give it a good shot glass full of mineral oil. They won't like it, but I'd make them drink that and help lubricate everything up, and maybe they can pass it. But if they get enough of it, a big enough block in their stomach, it sure as hell can kill a dog. So be careful on that.
The rope toys that you see at Walmart with the tennis ball on it, it's pretty good to give them, but pay attention to it. Make sure it's not disappearing on you, because you see it disappearing on you, then the dog's inhaled the rope.
Right.
But not the tennis ball one. I'm talking about just the rope one and then they chew the fuzz off of the tennis ball. So
yes,
you'll see that in
yes.
food.
PG. So Natural Line says PG on July the 3rd, but starting to take a temperature 1 week before due date, and watch for labor signs always. Exactly. So I've got a lot of customers who will go get PG tests done a week beforehand. Waste of time. Absolute waste of time, because the thing about a PG is not a predictor of when the mama will have puppies. It's just a go, no go. The number is 3.5. Some vets will say 3, some will say 2.5. But basically, it's a point with a fine chem machine. I say 3.5. If you're lower than that, you're pretty sure that you're in a safe zone. But it does. I've had a dog that was 12 at midnight, and the next morning at 8 in the morning, she was showing signs of going into labor, and her PG was 2. So it went from 12 to 2 in like 7 hours. You can't predict off PG. No point taking PG levels, a week beforehand. I do not do a first PG test until their temperature has come down to like 99.3, and I'm within a couple of days of due date. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. At what week of pregnancy do you see growth in your dogs? That's all over the place. So if you've got a dog that's really pregnant, especially a small dog, you might see some signs of a girth increase in their belly at 4 weeks. Puppies, dogs that have never had puppies before, typically their nipples are very flat on their chest and they start to pop out maybe as soon as 2.5 weeks. It's a good sign that you've got a dog. You may see a dog that's having morning sickness where it's throwing up, it's off on its food. That's a good sign that a dog is pregnant. It's also a sign possibly they have pyometria. So you've got to make sure that you diagnose this correctly, because if the dog's got an infected uterus from the mating, that's a very serious situation that needs to be treated. Versus a dog that's got morning sickness, that's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Here.
So Fashion Force says first time went to her mum's nipples get larger to show pregnancy. So what do you think, Tammy? 2.5 weeks maybe to see nipple changes in dogs?
Yeah, about 2 weeks. You'll
as
see,
soon as 2 weeks?
especially a first time mama.
Yep, right.
Yes,
So we are gonna put these dogs tomorrow in a whelping area. She's looking at me like she says that we. Yeah, we are. There we are. Okay. Well, boss says no.
Yet.
Well,
not yet.
Well, okay.
Not
We'll see.
yet.
We'll see when the video comes out.
We've got big girl running around in here.
Well,
so.
I know we've got to do something about that. Okay. Right.
Big girl is Gucci. I'm thinking about maybe she needs to be called Fancy because she's pretty fancy.
Dana Hall says, I think you mean Oracal. I do, not Nutrical. I mean Oracal. Nutrical is for calories, not. That's exactly right. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah. For what?
Well, I talked about using Nutrical, but it's not. Nutrical is a calorie thing that you give dogs. It comes in a tube. Oracal is the one that has is what you need to give calcium. Thank you, Dana. Oracal. Oral calcium.
Okay.
It's called
okay.
Oracal.
Yeah.
Comes in a tube, I think. Fashion Forward Mum says, I keep my cage clean, changing towels 4 or 5 times a day. Yep.
I'm there. I'm washing towels every day.
How do they get coccidia and how do they get wrong? Well, I mean,
stress.
Yeah.
Change of food.
I get it from outside. Mum goes outside. You've got a coccidia in your yard. Mum's out there. Other dogs, she's eating poop from other dogs or whatever. She now has coccidia.
If the birds are flying, you got an area where birds are flying and you got poop on the ground.
So what we do is this mum has not been around for 3 weeks before, and even now at 4 weeks has not been around any of the other dogs. She's in a different area. She goes out a door that you can't see over here to an area,
in her own area
that is separated from all the other dogs. She is not exposed to any other dogs. And so will we have coccidia or giardia? Hopefully not.
She goes nose to nose with Gucci.
Now Gucci
sometimes when Gucci's up here smelling, but she tells her to get away.
But Gucci's not been around any other dogs either. She's a baby, so I'm pretty sure that she's got firm poop and everything else. Yeah, right. Right.
You like that chew bone? You can share that with that baby, right? That's another thing. When you bring toys,
Frenchie Fam, she isn't eating
Mama
much.
Is going to share the toys too.
Frenchie Fam says she also isn't eating much. They talk about the dog. The temperature dropped to.
Okay, they quit.
Temperature yesterday was 100.3. That's a big, fast drop. I can tell you that. That's not a normal drop. Not trying to get you worried here, but that's a very fast drop. Normally, you see a drop that goes on over 4 or 5 days, starting at something around 100.3 and dropping down over a few days. And by the way, people will say, well, if it's 99.3, how close is that dog? I don't know. I mean, typically pretty close. Might be a day, it might be 3 days, but you certainly cannot look at this graph and say, oh, well, look, there's the graph. I know exactly when she's going to. Well, it doesn't, unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. All it is you see this drop below 99.0. So, I'm a little bit concerned about your dog, but if she shouldn't be eating any food, I'd keep a careful eye on this dog. So he's quite possibly having puppies tomorrow. And she also looks really big. Good. Well, really big means that you've got your timing right, so that we don't think we've got this situation with a small litter that messes up your timing. So I predict
sometimes on big mamas they'll have a day early.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, she was right on the money, wasn't she?
Yeah,
right on the money. Right, slap on the money.
Right. Sweet baby.
Mandy says, first PG test today on day 5 with one foe. Was a 14.8. Didn't expect. She's the only female has been high. Day 5, bred her that night. The following day, had to leave out of town, hoping she took thoughts. I think that is a little bit tenuous there. I don't like it. So here's the reason why. Hardly ever is a dog bred on day 5. Most dogs are bred between day 11 and 13, 7 days early. That concerns me. Second thing is a 14.8 or on an IDEX, that would be a place that you would absolutely be doing a breed, but not on a fine care. Fine cares breed higher. If I was going to do a single breeding on a fine care, to be on about a 24. I start doing breedings typically on an 18, and I absolutely keep on doing tests to make sure the numbers are going to go above 30 before I call this done. And you didn't do that. So if you did a breeding on 14.8, it worries me that you're actually thinking you're in the right place and you're not.
No.
And I know that the wisdom would say, look, once they've ovulated, you're off the races. It ain't true. I've seen many times the dogs have progesterone levels that you'd say that dog is ovulated, and it just hangs around at that number for the next 5, 7, 8 days. So I absolutely these days, I've learned this the hard way, absolutely take another test, and I keep testing. And if I breed on 18 and I breed 2 days later, I will do a test. And I will make sure that, I'll do a test before I breed. If that number's gone back down to a 10, I won't do the breeding. If that number's gone to a 20 or a 25 or a 30, I'm absolutely going to do the breeding. If that number's still at a 14.8, I'll probably wait a day. I want those numbers to be going up. And I ain't going to stop until I see numbers that are pushing 30. On a WANFO. The problem with an IDEX is IDEXs typically don't read above 20. But if you've got, so I like the WANFO machine. Natural Line says, if you'd said IDEX, I'd have said bingo, but I don't know. I don't know about the WANFO. Well, a question is, Nacho, you're exactly right. They need to be at a higher number. So with the WANFO, it concerns me. He says, remember, Google has the answer as well. The problem with this is I don't get me wrong here. I'm a firm believer in Google. I Google everything, but I don't think Google's going to get this right as far as the WANFO machine. I'm going to find out. I will Google that when this is over with. And we're coming up on that time. Oh, that baby loves his mama. Yep. Okay, so I think that gets us really. Why don't you show your puppies off for the last few minutes?
This little guy's been playing with his mama, and he's just so precious. He's just so precious. I don't know which one I want to get. I don't know which one. They're so pretty. They're all sleeping. They're all sleeping, Mama. Look, his little nose is getting colored up pretty good.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty.
That's the thing about these coys. They start showing spots all over the place, and they come in.
He doesn't like being held like this. I can't show his ears because he does his head.
Yeah.
Do his ears for me. There. It's pretty. His nose is filling.
See that red eye glow there, can't you?
Yeah.
That red eye glow.
So pretty.
Now he is he a new shade?
No, he is a lilac and tan.
Oh, it's lilac tan. Yes, there you go. You see it. Lilac tan.
and
So that's why it's got the red eye
cocoa.
glow. Red eye glow because they're merles and they're coys. Red eye glow because they've got even versions
And
of chocolate.
everybody got a copy of Testable Chocolate
And cocoa because of her.
because of Mama
And
being
Fluffy.
a new shape.
And Fluffy. Because
Yeah.
we hit the jackpot. We got 5 out of 6 Fluffies.
Yes.
We all crashed out
and
there.
we got 3 new shade Isabellas, 2 blue and tans, and it's just beautiful.
So you see this
4
dog.
coys.
What do you think? What do you think about
I'm
this?
just tickled to
What do you think
death.
about this dog panting?
She's just nervous with
Right.
me playing with
No,
her babies.
that's what it is.
Look at him. He wants me. You better quit it. You better quit it because I'm going to keep you. You just.
This is a great age for us with puppies because they start to develop personalities.
Well, not starting to poop.
Yes.
That I have to clean up.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But they get to the point where you see their personalities coming out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just a puppy, call Tami 580-799-1910.
Yes.
She'll FaceTime you and talk about these puppies. Yeah. So, and we've got another litter that's due in about another what? 4 weeks, Tami? When's no less than 4 weeks, 3 weeks?
The 17th, I think.
Is it 17th? Yes.
Of July.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Sophia.
We don't know how.
Husky Supreme.
We don't know how pregnant she is.
Oh well, she
Sean's-
feels.
I think she's gonna
I
be
bet
fine
she's got 4
or more. All right. Okay, I think let's just see if there's any more questions before we say goodnight to everybody.
Beautiful babies. This guy carries testicle child, or pink. Carries pink. He's a new shade, Isabella.
Pinch bullies. How many dogs do you have, excluding puppies? Just curious. We have
4 females.
4 females, of which one of them is not. She's just a baby, isn't she?
Yeah.
So we've got 3 active females.
She's my carries pink. New shade Isabella. Merle.
We have 2 retired females too.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Kit and we've got Sylvie. Sylvie's Chanel's dog because we're all in one kind of compound these days. But she's got Sylvie, who's
retired,
Sylvie's and we've got Kit, who's retired too.
Yeah.
Kit could actually have babies, but we're just not going to do it.
No, no.
But we were going to spay her, but we decided we're not going to.
Because she keeps everybody coming into heat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. She keeps everybody coming to heat.
Well, not only that, she's been your dog from the get-go.
Yeah, right. Yes, so...
she thinks she's special.
Will there be solids in the next litter? Maybe.
Yeah, there'll be Rojo and Tans. There'll be New Shade Isabella and Tans. There'll be, gosh. Well, I think that's probably what I'm going to get.
Yep.
Full fluffies, carrying pink.
So DE, last question here. DE says, have you ever dealt with pyometria and successfully taken care of it? Absolutely.
Well,
More often than not,
closed pyometria, but that wasn't successful.
We had one pyometria.
Mama lived.
Yeah, we had one pyometria that Mum got very, very sick. It was what's called a closed pyometria. There was no discharge. She had a high temperature, stopped eating food, obviously was very sick. We went to the vet, had an x-ray done.
You're nervous.
Uterus is full of pus. And that was probably, we were like 2 weeks into the pregnancy. And anyway, we spayed her. And that fixed up. She was right as rain. The day after that, she was right as rain.
Thanks, daughter.
That was really a sad situation.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We've had quite a few other pyometrias that have been absolutely curable. Get them early, get them on antibiotics, especially if they're an open pyometria, we've got discharge. Very, very treatable. Normal pregnancies, had a litter, no problem at all. Some people say if you have pyometria, don't breed the dog again. Rubbish. In fact, the best thing you can do with the dogs have pyometria is to breed it, believe it or not. So the pyometria is something that you've got to get on top of, but it doesn't have to scare you. Right. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, I'm currently in a situation with a female with pyometria, open. I'm trying to help her with enthrofloxacin and clavamox to get her rid of it. Well, that sounds like a good treatment, right? Exactly. That's what you should be done. So, hopefully you'll get this under control quickly. And typically, you do with an open pyometria. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Next one's they're going to be running around.
Yeah.
This weekend we'll have a whelping. I want to do it tomorrow, but Tami apparently not going to let me do that.
James is ready to try his poop tray again.
Well, I am.
But my phone number 580-799-1910. Give me a call. We'll visit. We'll FaceTime. 4 boys left. 2 carry pink. That are New Shade Isabellas. So
Special
full
advice.
fluffy.
Yes.
One's a koi. One's the Harlequin Tweed Merle.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.